right, so today's video, we are watching a DPS player in Diamond. They say, truthfully, I was debating on whether or not to submit because I was scared of how my gameplay was and how bad I might have been doing in all my matches. I usually play quick play more than comp because it feels less scary and easier to me. When I get into comp, I feel a little nervous because I feel like I sometimes play horribly, and I'm used to getting flamed for one small mistake in comp. Unfortunately, that happens a lot in comp. Even in top 500, like, even if you do one thing, people just, like, they won't leave that one play alone for 10 minutes. In my eyes, I feel like I might not be suited for Diamond, and I should instead be around Gold/Plat. I'm hoping your opinions can help me learn how to play better if I am doing a bad job. Thanks. So, a lot of what we have to look for here is, are they playing as bad as they think they are? Yeah, let's see. I'll let you know, and we'll go from there. Okay, off to a start, that's for sure. All right. Huh. I got somebody fall off the map in Nabani. On the outside of the map, there's multiple areas you can fall off. That was a start. It almost felt like you didn't know what you wanted to do. So wait, that whole sequence happened and you went, it's Reaper time? Why? Was it because of the hog? Was it because of the hog or what was it? Like, I don't... Huh. Yeah, so far it feels like you don't know what you want to do yet. Okay, this will be interesting. Okay, so like, to give you an idea, and we'll see how the rest of this goes, teleporting right in front of their team and then running at them in a straight line, I guess that now it's fine. That was actually a good timing. I'm gonna be honest with you, that TP timing by you was wonderful. I can't believe the BAP survived that. But yeah, it feels like you don't know what you want to do, so you're just running around in circles. That's kind of like what I'm getting from this. Also, sometimes you can be wait a little bit longer on your fade. It feels like you're using it right away. Is this Diamond? Yes. Wow. You are, you know, there's one thing we can't say, and that's that you're not using your abilities. You are using your abilities. All right, time to TP again. It's been like 3 seconds. Yeah, let's TP again randomly. Wonderful. So, like, it feels like you switched to Reaper to play like Ashe. Now it's getting a lot better. This could be good. Oh, there's a window. Be careful. Yep, this is not the exact spot you want to... Think about where they're at and why going back main's the play. All right, there you go. You find yourself a teammate and group up, and that's actually what the Reaper's done. Like, right there. Do you see how, like, you're just using your shift cooldown? Like, you see why that's just inefficient? Your teammate's with you. You have a Zarya there at the very worst. So, like, if you're worried about, like, oh, they're going to get me and I'm going to fall over, like, you would have been fine. But instead, you just hit your shift button, and then now you don't have it for 8 seconds. So now you're going to go on the high ground, and there's the TP across. Reaper ult could be good here, though. Don't use your shift too early, remember. Just because you take 3 damage does not mean you need to use that ability. All right. Sorry, my bad. Let me rephrase that. Just because you take 0 damage does not mean you need to use that ability. Moments like this can happen. Which you might get out, you might not. Okay, do you see? You're just using your buttons to use your button. There's, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason as to why you're doing it. You're just hitting your button to, like, do like a rotation. One thing that you do as you climb more on a hero is you kind of min-max a little bit more of how you're gonna use your cooldowns. You get what I'm saying? So, like, you find more opportunity to wait that extra second to use your Reaper shift. You don't teleport in front of their face over and over again. This is fine because you're up in numbers. I wouldn't Reaper ult that because they already won, but wonderful. Worst part is it didn't even show up in the kill feed. I also want you to think about why you're playing Reaper. Because, like, it feels like you're still on Reaper, but it feels like this goes back to, like, I still think you could have just played Ashe and been fine. I guess it also depends if you're good at Ashe. Like, maybe you just aren't comfortable on Ashe, but you thought Ashe was the correct pick. I guess that also is bad. Hey, you know what? I actually liked your cooldown usage there. You got a little bit more damage in, you didn't use your shift right away, and you got out. That feels more of like what you want to do when you play Reaper, rather than let me teleport in front of them and then use my shift a half a second later. All right, and you teleported in and use your shift half a second later. Now, why wasn't that good? Because you teleported into a window. Of course they're going to be able to force your cooldown out early. Feels like you have to use your ability to use your ability. I think that's kind of part of the problem. How often do I play Sombra? I mean, not a ton. Is there any tank cooldown that can eat or neutralize Venture Ult? I think probably just bubble it. That's it. I don't think I can think of. Ender, thanks to the 10 months of the British Prime. Thank you, appreciate it. This is much better, by the way, because you're not... Okay, well... I do want to point out you don't have to use your shift there to get the elim. At the same time, that's a much better usage of your shift than you've used all game. Getting the free reload, I don't mind that. You didn't necessarily need it, but I also don't mind that. Like, I think that's a good usage of your ability. All right, here's the TP in. This could actually be a good one, because now you can time it perfectly with your... Wonderful. Yeah, so next time that they solo ult the BAP, you probably don't have to ult the BAP. And even if that's part of the plan, like I'm gonna Reaper ult, like sometimes it's good to make like an audible. And what that means is that you go, oh, wait a second, they just grabbed them. I don't need to, I have this really cool play in mind. I don't need to do that anymore. I'm gonna save it for like right now. Imagine retaking this doorway. Yeah, you get the point, but guess what? Now you have it if they do go out of there. So I think like a lot of what you need to do is like figure out why you're making your plays, and then I think you'll be fine. The problem is now is you just like, you're almost very like rotation based, kind of like you're playing an MMO, right? Like your cooldowns come up, you use your cooldowns, you get out. Like a lot of what Overwatch is making really quick decisions, and why you have a set plan, you don't want to necessarily always default to that exact plan the whole time, because when you do, it can lead to like basically what you just saw, where you get rolled, and then you spend most of the time just like not even a part of a team fight. I do like the Hanzo pick here. Bit more range, bit less of like your cooldowns are a little bit less of like the rotational cooldowns you have on Reaper. And you can play safer, which I think is a little bit more of your playstyle. I think like from watching your playstyle so far, it very much feels like you're more comfortable playing like the Ashe Hanzo than you are playing the Reaper. And you're seeing that in your gameplay. You're more confident in like your peaks, you're not like hecking up your cooldowns. And that's what I mean. Like, you notice how like, even though you lost the point there, you were willing to make more plays. Imagine if you were on Reaper there. Okay, speaking of playmaking, that is certainly a Hanzo ult that exists. At the same time, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you watch my stream, I use my Hanzo ult like that too, because I feel like I don't get elims with it anyway, so it just saves you the disappointment of getting no elims. Right? You know what I mean? You mentioned that you feel like you're not good, or like you don't think you're doing well in games. I think it's more about your hero selection. You see how like on Reaper, when you were sitting there playing Reaper, it felt like it was a constant struggle to get anything going? That's because your playstyle is more of a passive playstyle, and the moment that you take damage, you tend to want to like play further back. But as Hanzo, you're able to play like a much better mid-range, so a lot of the time that you back up and you make some of these like really like good plays, a lot of that has to do with like the idea that it's your playstyle. So what I've discovered for you already is that you need to play heroes that fit your playstyle more, because sometimes heroes are more suited for your specific playstyle, and you'll start to see that you can make a lot more plays. And everybody plays Overwatch a little bit different, in a way that like some players, you know, want to play far back as a sniper. Some players want to play mid-range sniper. Some players want to play mid-range Cassidy. Some players want to play close-range Cassidy. Some players want to play Reaper, where they go for the tank and then get out. Some players want to go Reaper and teleport everywhere and hit all your buttons at once, and that's what you were doing as Reaper. But it doesn't quite fit the playstyle. Also, that BAP just rolled you. Holy crap. Nice shot by the BAP. I don't mind the Pharah swap here. It's a little bit interesting, though, on third point, and the reason being... And by the way, what do you notice in chat about this player's playstyle? Are they taking aggressive angles on like on the other side of the map? Look at your playstyle on every other hero that you've played. Your Reaper, you wanted to play it so safe that like you can't make plays on Reaper as much, right? It seems like this is more of your comfort level of what you want to do. Now, let's go to the flip side of that. Let's say that you want to go play Reaper and learn Venture, etc., on how to play like into the backline pressure. That's totally fine. And I think that like that would just take practice. And you say you do play a lot of quick play, so you can practice that in quick play if you like that. So, just a little bit of a side note that I'm noticing in this game, you know?
This ends now.
Oh yeah, I mean, to give you an idea, current Pharah benefits way more of playing how you would play like an aggressive Echo than you do just sitting back spamming. It doesn't mean you can't spam back, but like look at what's look. This is what I mean about playmaking, right? All right, here comes the Pharah ult. Let's go back to what I talked about with playmaking. Do you notice how you're not going for any play? You just play too passive. So that's why you have to find the strengths of heroes that benefit from more passive gameplay. You know, you can even go Cassidy. Cassidy, you can play a bit more of a mid-range that will fit your play style, and then you start to find your strengths on maps. You could definitely be in Diamond, but you need to find playmaking ability. And that's why, like, right there, your team dies, is because you took yourself out of the team fight to play this very, 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 very safe play style, and then they ran over your team. So your mechanics are going to be good, but you need to go and use those mechanics and feel confident that you can make those plays. And when you do that, you'll find more value. Okay, so now you went May. May, once again, fits your play style. You're going to be with your teammates. You're going to play a little bit more stacked with your teammates. This isn't bad. Prince, thanks for the 5 months of the British Prime. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to question this. I want to see how you play this, because this is a playmaking situation. All right, you've decided to take a duel with a BAP across the map. Wonderful. Okay, so what's the problem we're seeing again? What's the problem? You're playing too safe. Your teammates are going to go on high ground. You're going to go up there and work with them. Then you were like almost afraid to make that play. Backed up to coast side. This is what we call coast when we're playing this map. And then you just stood there. And then you did nothing except play against a Venture and then lose to the Venture. I actually think Sombra might fit your play style too. Because you play a little bit more safe, but you can... Okay, that was pretty funny. I actually think I have a good way to describe where I see their rank at. Because I think there's like a... Hey, nice job, by the way. And listen, by the way, that right there is a play-making play. You went for a BAP, you made a play, and now your team has a chance. Yes, you're on a hero with a safer play style, but you're able to use that safer play style to also go and be a playmaker. And that's great. That's what we like to see. Now, I would get out of there the other way, but I'm fine with this. Now you're going to a spot where you can be on high ground. Look at this. Nice. Good job. That right there was exactly. That felt like you're comfortable playing Sombra, and you made a comfortable play that you were happy with that also led to an aggressive play, and you won a team fight. That was you. You essentially win that team fight because of you. Anytime you get a BAP picked off at the beginning, that is a good play. A playmaking ability that led to that. Now, do you see why playmaking can be so important? You see why it can be so important and why that can lead to much better results than just sitting there doing nothing? And that right there is why I want to see you adapt this play style a bit more. Play your comfort heroes, but play them a little bit more with, like, I'm going to make a play. And you know what? If they get you on a bad play sometimes, it's going to happen. I'm not saying you need to get 25 deaths, but if you finish a game with 8 deaths, but you have, you know, a bunch of playmaking ability and a limbs happening, like, it's okay. You're not going to play perfect, and, you know, if your teammates get mad at you for trying to make plays, okay, well, that was certainly an attempt. Remember that once the Venture goes into the animation, I still like the idea of that, though. But remember that once the Venture goes in animation, you won't be able to, like, CC them or do anything with that. There's, like, a certain, like, point. Actually, they might have just changed it even better recently. Ooh, good job hacking the Hog. I actually like that because the Hog is going to be trying to heal. Anything to do with, like, submit and stuff would be my Discord. So, nice. There you go. By the way, you're much more involved in these team fights now. You're much more involved in these team fights, which is nice to see. This is okay if you lose a team fight, by the way. They have a lot of ultimates. This is the ult stack situation. That's fine. Honestly, I felt like the way you played Sombra was better than anything we saw the whole game. I feel like you were willing to make plays. You were willing to be up in their face. You weren't afraid to let them get the limb on you. And I think if you can apply that style of play on every hero that you do, I think you're going to be in a very good spot. Actually, I think a good way to explain this right now. What if I told you, mechanically, you're in Diamond? You're limiting yourself on your potential here, on what you can do in ranked. If you can find ways to do what you just did on Sombra, but on any of the heroes that you play, you're going to be in a good spot. By the way, this right here, believe it or not, is playmaking. And why is that? You're on their back line. You're pressuring their back line. They have to worry so much about what your team's doing. They're forced to turn around. All of this. Do you see what you're doing? Do you see the pressure that you're putting on the other team? Look at this. Do you see this? I'm okay with that, by the way. You're staying in fights, and you're making the other team have to worry about something else than just looking in front of them and rolling your team. So while, yeah, obviously you don't want to get picked off there and your cooldown was up, I think, like, the more you do this, the next time around, you'll learn from that and go, okay, I was able to play aggressive, I got a pick, now I'm going to be able to translocate out next time. You're going to still make those type of mistakes in game, and you're going to, like, heck up at times, but it's, like, what you do after that. And then you just minimize how much you do that, and you're in a good spot. Melon, thanks for the 8 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. I'm okay with this. You're trying to make a play. Backing out's fine. Your team lost that, but you know what? You're still in it. You built some of your ult up. Good job. Would like to see you farm your EMP as quickly as you can. I also think it's okay if you save your EMP. And what I mean by that is last team fight situation, win the game. It could work. It really depends. Actually, harder to say. Because they have Sombra, and you don't really know where they're at ult-wise, so if you get EMP'd on first, you can lose. So I could also understand using it early. Luciferem, thanks for the 4 months of the Features Press. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, get involved again here. I need to see a little bit more of you being a part of this team fight. Good hack, nice. This is good, this is good. I would not even... Sometimes when the other team pops a bunch of ultimates and, like, it doesn't seem like it's a winnable team fight, if you EMP them, your team is more likely to run in and try to follow up on your EMP than to fall back and disengage their ults. So there's a time in here where I think if you wait a little bit of an extra time in, like maybe 3 seconds and your team backs up, you can win that. At the same time, it's ranked and there's no guarantee your teammates disengage that. So this is more of just like looking at it analytically and being like, you know, there's a moment here where you can probably delay your ultimate a little bit longer and you could save this play and make that play, etc. And I think there's definitely room for that opportunity, but like, yeah, I can also see why you went for the ultimate there. So I'm not gonna like say it's also a bad play. It's just like, you can kind of save your time in a little bit. They have an EMP, they just Kiriko ulted. I mean, you have a nano on your ball maybe, and they EMP'd before they can get nano off. Yeah, that's a toughie. Ana might be able to get the nano off. Kill sim turrets here, by the way. There's one thing that you can do to help your team is kill sim turrets. Because they're shredding your team. Wait a second. You got the Kitsune. I'm not saying it's lost, but if someone would kill those sim turrets, that'd be great. I'm still waiting. Why no one kills sim turrets is beyond me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think your team has a much better chance there if you just kill sim turrets. Like, holy crap. Wonderful. All right, well, one thing that you saw about your gameplay was that you felt like you get nervous when you go into the games and, you know, you play a little bit more quick play. I think for you, and hopefully this helps hearing this, mechanically, I think you're in Diamond. But I think your playmaking ability definitely is where you would probably envision yourself more in that gold/plat. But like, that is the thing. You just need to go and be willing to make more of those plays. And when you watch this back, I want you to think about the moments you had on Sombra where you were willing to be in a team fight. And I want you to circle back to when you played Reaper. On Reaper, you had zero playmaking ability. You did nothing most of the time. I want you to kind of be the player that will start to make more things happen that will benefit your team. And there's going to be moments where you make a play and they get you. But the only way you're going to be able to see that is if you keep just trying to make those plays and then you learn from those plays and you go, okay, this worked and this didn't. You're not even making plays to know if they work or they don't work. You're just assuming that all of your plays won't work, and you can tell that by your gameplay. So get in the mindset of this play will work, and then as those plays happen, you go, okay, that play didn't work. This is why. We're going to minimize how much we do that. And I think if you take that and apply it, I think you'll be in a good spot. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. If you want to submit your own spectating, you can join the Discord, which is in the description below. Do that. Also leave a comment. All of that helps. On top of that, we also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right below the webcam, so stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.